we go. All right, MStach in the Green Bay Packers green jerseys playing against I'm going to go hard in the New England Patriots white jerseys for a spot in the Final 8 on the Xbox One console.
And
delicious, brought to you by delicious LaCroix soda water, cran raspberry.
Out for a soda water Saturday, sponsored by LaCroix. It's actually not sponsored by LaCroix. I don't think we can say that. But if they do want to sponsor, I'm just saying I follow you on Instagram.
I know a guy, I follow you there as well.
So, MStach comes out on defense. He's got that inside zone D set up. This is gun ace.
Different.
Which is really, really good. And
good
shoots
D.
through the gap. That's flashback. That's CJ Spiller. Similar. That right stick cut with the halfback. Mm-hmm. You saw him give up a touchdown on the first play against his last opponent. Not able to squeak outside right there.
Good. I mean, that sets the tone, does it not? Like, do you get a little bit scared?
Yeah, well, we saw that with problem in Shugs when they played. This is not good, though.
That's fine. He's got it covered. He's there. Good crossing pattern.
Yeah, this is a super tough formation. It's somewhat just, you know what's coming, but you still have to stop it. And that motion right there didn't allow him to really have the setup in to stop it in time.
PA shot wheel, some of the best route combinations in the game. Halfback wheel, the deep cross and the deep post. A lot to handle from this set. Inside zones, tight end corners, 4 verticals. Hands full here for MStach.
Hands full. Empty hearts. Can't lose. 5 seconds in the play clock. Opening drive. Didn't have the look that he liked.
In the chat, let us know, who are you rooting for in this game? Are you Team MStach, hashtag Team MStach? Are you hashtag Team I'ma Go Hard? If I'ma Go Hard fans are in the house, we welcome you here. Welcome. Play action, PA shot wheel once again. Good D. Good route. Quick slant to the tight end for another big first down.
John Elway at quarterback. You're not going to see Jimmy Garoppolo in this matchup for Stach's opponent. You're going to see a legend in John Elway. That's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in Ultimate Team. I would say that his legend quarterback still holds up. Obviously, in Ultimate Team, you have the Freeze Mariota, who's very popular. 88 Mariota, very popular. You have some other legends like McNabb, who have fairly low prices. The new Team of the Week, Stafford. But I still think if you have John Elway and have had him since day one, he has given you all of the coin value you can handle at this time. As a quarterback, I certainly recommend. And he's going to be tough, but not many receivers. He does have got Deshaun Jackson there, I think, at tight end, number 11. I'm not sure who that is. But that was a personnel adjustment shift. He didn't sub him in there manually, so which is not allowed, I believe, in Madden Challenge competition. Big dime. In nickel, Stach kind of getting stuff up. He's in the big dime 2-3-6, which, similar to the 1-3-6, we'll see what he can do. He's in the Kansas City offense, Kansas City defense. Hope Twitch is on it, asking the commish who's going to Burbank, California. Flat, wide open to the right-hand side. Checks down to CJ Spiller. We talked about the flat route last game. Very, very tough to stop. And John Elway, much like Tony Romo was last game, 3 for 3 for 40 yards. So Stach will have to work to slow down the passing game, but there's still adjustments being made on this opening drive. And this is not where games are won and lost. This is where games are just kind of felt out, and that can help people. CJ Spiller cuts it up the middle, fumbles, balls out, and Prince Amukamara jumps on the ball for MStach. That is what you get with the CJ Spiller. You get a lot of dynamic athleticism, but every now and then you can get a fumble.
Big fumble right there. Ball's out. Sorry, I had to step away for a second there, but ball is out. MStach gets the big first turnover of the game.
Gun trips Y-flex tight right here for Stach. Excellent formation that he started his last game with. This is the chance where you can come out and prove that you can set the tone, and you don't have really the personnel to run the ball. You do have a good left tackle, which is nice, but you are going to be throwing the ball this game, hopefully from short to medium range, and use those receivers to your advantage. Stach opens up with play action on first down, hits an out route to Jerry Rice, and gets a first down. There could have been more there if he could have stayed in bounds, but a 12-yard gain to the GOAT on first down.
It looks like we got Too Tenacious in the chat who's saying that he plays the winner of this in the round robin.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, yeah.
So
all right.
Too Tenacious is
Too Tenacious in the chat.
And RG was talking about him earlier on the Muckcast, saying that he really liked his game. Said that
Heat
and
for
the pressure
days.
comes up the middle. So on first down, Stack went to play action, which may have picked up any pressure that was around. But instead, on this down, he goes to level sail, which he could have quick thrown to the flat, but I don't think he expected the pressure to come in so fast. But it's always kind of good to see what your opponent's going to be running.
So when you guys get into a situation, if you're playing a game and you take a first down sack, get in second 17, don't try to get all back on second down because you give yourself
This is
terrible...
Evil Ken.
This is Evil Ken he's playing?
I believe so.
Really? Evil Ken is a baller. But what he's facing right now is you want to get into a manageable third down. Don't try and get all your yards back on one play.
Would have liked a playmaker right there from Stack to hopefully get control. A playmaker, you hold down the left trigger, you flick the right stick. That gives you control of your closest receiver, allows you to kind of change the route on the fly. That would have been
Yes, it is
nice.
Evil Ken. Okay, so question in the chat. JG Mutt says, what's the antidote for aggressive catching fouls? Run quickly for me.
Double coverage, two-man underworks, getting a matchup advantage in your favor. If you have a guy in zone coverage, having a high zone coverage rating. If you have a guy in man coverage, having a high man coverage rating. Antonio Brown, that sticky bun, the playmaker right there, picks up 15 yards on a flat pattern.
Beautiful.
On 3rd and 15. If you're Ken, you're kind of bummed about that.
Beautiful rack catch right there. He could have gone with a possession catch to be a little more safe, but he got the rack, was able to cut up field, get a huge first down, got a big block by his wide receiver there as well to spring him free for the first down.
Yeah, Evil Ken, guys, for those of you that don't know, has been on the tournament scene for years. Great player from New Jersey. Shows up at all the tournaments in the area. East Coast of Madden is a hub. Rack catch.
Oh,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
and there's again, right? You'd think that this is where that quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, he looks great on paper, but then when you get those deep patterns that you want to run, you see the MStach wants to target downfield. He's got the route combination, he's got the verticals, got the post, but Jimmy Garoppolo, time and time again, is showing he can't deliver that deep ball accurately enough to get MStach those big chunk yards downfield.
All right, looks like it could be man here. It could be zone. MStach with the motion on the right side of the screen to Jerry Rice, and that is a hold down A button on Xbox, hold down X on PS4 to get that sideline catch, drag the feet. Jerry Rice 3 for 24 so far, 3rd and 1. He's over midfield. This is 4-down territory if you're Stack early in this game, so Ken probably will try and be aggressive right here. Let's see what happens. Garoppolo goes to the inside zone. Tremendous block shed from Ken. That's Michael Kendricks.
Yeah, and I mean, that helps when you have Michael Kendricks. You're using him. You're able to get inside the belly of the offensive line there, and he's able to get the block shed. And as Kendricks zips up the old jacket there, he locked down on 3rd and 1. 4th and 2. What do you do here, Farles?
Well, I don't think you're going to run the ball again, but you do have a lot of route concepts across the middle. You know Ken's going to be in there. Nuge TV's back for some more action. Nuge, I would say Daniel Helm from the Red Wings is kind of like a Jimmy Garoppolo. Dynamic player. He does one thing well, speed, or does one thing well. He's good, but then when you start to play somebody who has a Crosby, you're like, wow, this Helm's not that good.
4th and 2. We see a lot of pressure up in the face of the defense here. 2 high safeties, 4th and 2.
He's got a drag across the middle. Will Ken take it away? He does.
Late throw.
Yeah,
Good look.
He had the right side would have actually been open. Another time I'd like to maybe see a playmaker there from Stack just to give him some more windows. He had the time in the pocket. Ken did a great job right there, dropping down and then getting back to recover on 4th down.
Left side of the field, missed opportunity there for Stack. He had a wide open receiver. He missed the read. Unfortunately for him, great user play by Evil Ken. Almost got the pick there. Evil Ken now takes the ball with a motion out of the backfield to his halfback. Gun trips tight end.
And CJ Spiller has that speed advantage, but not against Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, fortunately for Stack. Ruben Randall breaks a tackle and gets down the sideline and picks up a large gain.
If you remember the last game against Havok, there was a play very similar to that in the early part of the game where Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie could not get the tackle. He was able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. We're seeing DRC, even though great in coverage, he is a liability in the tackling game, in the position here. Quick little route
Can't press,
there.
can't tackle. Ruben Randall again, I believe, goes down into the red zone to the 2-yard line. John Elway, 5 for 5, 93 yards. Will he helicopter in the end zone?
Another historical note here about Evil Ken. Back Madden 10, we're in the Orlando Gaylord Palms in the Madden Challenge back in yesteryear. Evil Ken showed up with his Saints, and he showed up in the same formation that you're seeing here right here today. The gun trips tight end. I know RG's watching this somewhere, and he's going, my boy, talking about that Madden history, my boy. And right now, Evil Ken showing why he deserves to be on this stage. One of the legends in the Madden community.
Yes, absolutely. On 2nd and goal, looking to hand off to CJ Spiller. That's the
play.
halfback sting, and that's something that Serious Mo called to get in the end zone. We saw guys like Tweezy, saw guys like MStach that have quarterback sneak day. They have fullback dive defense. Everybody that's a new player knows, hey, this fullback dive run's pretty good. Hey, on 4th and inches, QB sneak's pretty good. So what the tournament players do is they say, well, I'm not going to let my opponent on 3rd and 1 run fullback dive. So then they come up with fullback dive defense. Then
Meta turns around. How do I not?
A run that's totally usually not great, like halfback sting, becomes better because everyone's setting up to stop the run right at the middle, and Ken just takes it one slot to the left, and it's a touchdown.
Ken looked good on that drive there, Farles. He looked composed. He had a nice flow to everything he was doing offensively.
Yeah,
he had routes all over the field that Stack had to guard against.
Yeah, Stack did miss. He missed a long throw on his last drive. Ken, on his first drive, moved the ball like butter. Here he's looking to go deep downfield, but the pressure is just too gassy from Evil Ken. That's Khalil Mack.
That's going to be a matchup problem. When you get these special high-rated players with acceleration like that, it can cause some real havoc on the offensive line right now. So Evil Ken has a nice matchup here. We didn't see what players he drafted, but we'll see how MStach is able to handle some of that pressure moving forward.
Yes, and Ken moved the ball flawlessly on his first drive. He just had the fumble, so Stack's going to have to come up with an answer for that. On 2nd and 19, goes to play action to help pick up that pressure, gets great blocking, and hits a dot to Jerry Rice across the middle, double jukes, and takes it up to midfield.
Beautiful route concept, beautiful play design right there by MStach. He ran a quick slant over the middle of the field to the tight end that's going to pull away the zone defenders. He ran a backside slant to Jerry Rice, which he motioned out, delayed the route, and then that first slant pulled the defense away, left the huge wide open slant in the middle of the field for the big play for MStach right there.
Goes to the run and picks up some blocking. Charles Sims,
ooh, stick work.
Bad tackling, and goes to the house.
Points at the legendary Evil Ken and says, what's up, my man?
He says, I'm a playmaker. I don't have a gold halfback. I don't have an elite halfback. I've got what I've got, and I'm going to still run it. That was not an inside zone. That was, I believe, the quick audible in the formation.
Halfback base. All about that base.
We talked a little bit about that with the fullback dive conundrum. Like, people have inside zone D, but as soon as you call halfback power, which is just slightly different, it is not as good, but it's just slightly different, it can give you trouble if you're used to stopping something else. And Stack took advantage of that right there. Yeah,
so back-to-back big plays for MStach. 1, based on nice play design. 2, second based off of great stick work. We got a barn burner here, boys and girls.
All right.
7-7, ball in the 27. Evil Ken in the Patriots white. MStach in the Green Bay Packers green. Evil Ken, stud from yesteryear in the Madden scene.
He's under center. John Elway hands off to CJ Spiller, who breaks one tackle with the juke, but can't shed Prince Amukamara right there. He's got 5 carries for 14 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1 fumble.
You got to think MStach is just foaming at the mouth right here, the opportunity to think of getting a fumble, like another fumble on CJ Spiller.
Yes, that is a possibility. You see he has hidden a Julio Jones on the outside right, and we'll have to see if he's going to take that one-on-one matchup. It is against Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. If it's man coverage, I'd call it an even matchup. If it's zone coverage, I'm going to give it to Julio. It's one-on-one. He goes to the flat stack.
That's tough. Wow, fighting. No way. What was that? Wow, Evil Ken. So, but again, you see what Ken's doing here. He's living in that gun trip tight end. That's where he's getting all his chunk plays. He's going to the play action audible. He's no beginner, right? He knows what he's doing here. He's doing a great job picking up all this pressure that Stack's playing, and he's got plays for zone. He's got plays for man. You can see here audibly now. I think he recognized that it looked like man-to-man coverage, and now Evil Ken checking down to another formation, another play that he feels comfortable in to get this first down.
I'm afraid of Ruben Randall, but he's making big plays, and that's what New York Giants do. Anyways. Good check down in the flat. Stack almost got there, but was unable to. Washington's making tackles in the run game. Big dime 2-3-6, 2nd and 9. 2-minute warning for Ken. Stack gets ball at half this time, so that is something he's got to keep in his back memory. If you're Ken, you're thinking the same thing. You've proven you can move the ball. You just got to get in. It's not a question of if you're going to score. It's a question of how much time left can you do it with. DRC matched up against CJ Spiller on that outside right. No speed match there. And one-on-one downfield. Prince Amukamara gets beat on the aggressive catch by Julio Jones, who we talked about. That's a guy who's going to win battles.
Listen, that's a power player on the edge out there. If you leave him one-on-one right now, MStach is choosing to do that. You're going to get beat more times than not. If you got a receiver like Julio Jones, Prince Amukamara is a great corner, but this elite Julio Jones, that much better.
1st and 10, clock ticking. Both players, plenty of timeouts. Stack all 3, Ken with 2. And the run up the middle goes down into the red zone. If you're Stack here, I think you take your timeouts.
Yeah.
Benny Cunningham comes in the game.
This seems to be a concern spot here for Stack. We've seen this game. We saw the Rose Bowl game. He doesn't have the most sound run defense in this part of the field. He seems to give up a lot of inside zone touchdowns right here. And again, he's giving up huge chunks of yards over the middle of the field, inside zones. He's able to stop the inside zone on the rest of the field, but he gets in the red zone. He seems to be changing. Is that a philosophy thing for us? What do you think is happening here?
Yeah, I think sometimes you don't assume that they're still going to run that inside zone when they do get down into the red zone. You think they're going to go down into something like this and either call fullback dive or toss it out wide. And if you're Ken, that is what veterans do. That's why Ken is that veteran. He's up there approaching that legend status. You scored with 8 seconds left. You got your 3 timeouts. I think you maybe play that one different. I'm not sure of the philosophy there.
Yeah,
It brings a tear to my eye because if you're Evil Ken, you've still got it. That's something you never forget, how to manage the clock. You might not have the newest plays. You might not have the newest blitzes. He does. He does. Have
He's got all of them. He's got all of them.
Of course he does.
He's why a legend.
But we saw that with
Stack going for a kneel.
With Secret and stuff like that.
Just going for a kneel. You got 3 timeouts. You're not risking it here. Not going to chuck it downfield. You got Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, you're not going to score. You could really only harm yourself, I think, with 5 seconds. If there was 20 seconds...
Call timeout, maybe chuck it?
No.
Right. He gets ball. Okay.
He does get ball, so I think maybe that's the different thing. He's going on by a drive basis right here, but you never lose the clock if you're a great player and you manage those situations. It never goes away. I don't think.
Evil Ken with a little bit of a Gibbs kick?
Yeah, almost got him to step out of bounds right there, but Stack does pick it up.
Good
Jukes hits
work.
Chris Givens right there. Fast player. Takes it to the 30-yard line. Going to be a pause here.
Now, down 7 in this game, there hasn't been... there was the one turnover by Evil Ken, and there hasn't been too much back and forth. Neither Stack or Evil Ken haven't really been able to stop either one. If you're MStach here, you can't feel the moment is too big for you right now. You have to compose yourself. It's the second half. Come out, just continue driving. Yes, you're down, but you're in this game. You still are able to compete. And now, on the flip side, if you're Evil Ken, you have a huge opportunity. If you can get a 3 and out right here, get the ball back, and try and milk a lot of this third quarter and go up 2 scores, the game could be over if he gets the stop he needs here early in this drive.
Yeah, it is that boa constrictor when you play a veteran player. That one possession to them in the ball. The ball is almost more important to them than anything else. Once they have that ball, it's very, very hard to get it back. They don't turn the ball over. I do like Stack there, checking out who are Ken's receivers. He's got Philly Brown. That's a good Philly Brown. That's not like a base Philly Brown. He must have drafted him. And pressure gets picked up flat, is wide open Croft. Jerry Rice, of course, blocks.
Next level play, Foz. Let me tell you why right here. Gun bunch right there from MStach. Earlier in the game, you saw the route combination. He ran a quick slant to the tight end. He motioned Jerry Rice out, had a quick slant come across back of the field. Evil Ken prepared for that same route combination on that play. This time, MStach floods the defense to the right side of the field, gets a huge 20-yard gain on a flat pass. Evil Ken not ready for that route concept. Absolutely love what I just saw there from MStach.
Yes, Doug Baldwin here motions to help in the blocking, and Sims keeps it inside rather than take it to the left edge. Works for him, 3 carries, 60 yards. Nuge, doesn't matter. You're right. The games carry over. Like you're saying, you can play 1,000 games on your couch with your friend. It doesn't mean that you have tournament experience. It doesn't mean it helps. But when it comes down to it, when you're in a big moment, all those other games get thrown out the window. Until you're playing high-level competition and competing every single day against it, those games don't carry over. 2nd and 2 here, across midfield. Garoppolo forced to take the timeout.
I don't think he can snap the ball.
When you just connect to a random opponent, you can play all the games. You need to be competing against the best. And Stack's done that. He's got a lab crew that does give him those reps, and that's why we've seen him have success. Ken, of course, has been doing that for seasons.
Stack's got to be careful here. Stack's got to be careful here. He doesn't have the running back there to get that done. I feel that was a conservative play call right there from Stack. We haven't seen him be conservative in this game, in this entire tournament yet. He's been very aggressive downfield. He seems to be checking down to...
Pressure could be getting to him?
It could be. I think the moment might be a little too big for him right now. He needs to stick to his game plan. 3rd and 1, though, big play.
He did go with the fake snap right there, and Sims doesn't have that next level speed to break it. He ends up getting caught off the left edge by 93 right there. Edge sting from Ken. A little fake snap really did help out right there. Stack going to some formations we haven't seen him go to yet. I'm sure he has a plan. I'm sure he's practiced. He's known to be a big-time labber. Here he goes to the strong power. Cuts inside with Sims. Gets a block. And goes in the end zone.
Crib it.
Sims having himself a nice day.
So right now, from both players, something that needs to alarm both players. You get in the red zone, and neither one of them can stop the run. Right there, you saw Evil Ken. It did look like he went and set up a defense specifically to stop the run. He played a 3-4 style defense, brought the linebacker over the nose of the center, trying to scrape. He made some big plays earlier in the game, but there he gives up the huge run. Yes, Sims broke a few tackles, but neither Ken or MStach are able to really stop the run in the red zone. So we'll see how Evil Ken responds. We fully anticipate that he's going to come right back out, go back into that same set.
Has Stack had any answers for his offense?
I don't think he's had any answers. Evil Ken has shown a lot of different formations. He's shown a lot of different route combinations.
So here he's going 3-4 odd instead of big dime. Is there anything you think he's trying to do here?
I think Stack is trying to feel him out. What the problem is he's facing is that he's getting a lot of. That's a touchdown. That's a crib shot. Big play by Evil Ken.
That Lockett?
Listen, here's what I mean. What you're seeing from Ken is, listen. You can run all your fancy blitzes. You can run every blitz on the planet Earth that you want to run, Farles. But what the best players on the planet do is they have an answer for those situations. So you have all these great blitzes designed to get in. But guess what the best players on the planet Earth do? They have pass protection schemes that pick them all up. There's no blitz they've never seen before that they're shocked and they don't know how to figure out. And Evil Ken right now is showing why he can handle MStach in this game. MStach has had great defense all tournament long, but Evil Ken is picking that pressure up, and that's why he's up 7 points in this game.
Yeah, there's no, you got the zones got sucked down there against the play action, and he was able to have 2 receivers in one area. The one receiver caught it, the second receiver blocked, and it turned into a huge play for Ken to go up 21-14 in his Patriots uniform. Second half here, Stack with the ball, down 7.
You see the manual movement on the right edge there, Farles. You know what that typically means.
That does mean pressure. He shifts the line, shifts them back. Stack trying to block and pick up that pressure. Goes to the flat again. And Jerry Rice.
Good. You got to like what you saw there. So we fully anticipated pressure off that edge. You saw Stack adjusted to it, so Stack did a good job there. But Evil can actually fake the pressure, and he dropped the defender into the flat. It didn't really turn out the right way he wanted. He got the drop ball, but nice high-level defensive strategy there from Evil Ken.
We haven't seen Stack take those deep shots. We saw him take one here. He gets the blocking from Sims. Sims double jukes and picks up 5 yards. So it's going to be a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it's got to be something that might be concerning for Stack. He's been running a ton of verticals and a ton of posts from all these formations. He loves that PA post here from the gun bunch. But the pressure's coming in so quickly here from Evil Ken that I don't think he feels confident with the route concepts downfield. So kudos to Evil Ken for some great defensive play calls in here. Nice read, though.
Good read, but the back foot, I think, cost him a little bit. And now he's going to audible to the inside zone, 4th and 1. If you're Ken here, you consider a run commit. We'll got to see if he's going to pass, though. 4th and 1, this is a huge play. Do you take a one-on-one shot to Antonio Brown down the left side of the field? What do you do here if you're MStach? The play of the game so far.
He's got him. He's got him.
He's got AB
That's
across
why
the
you
middle.
get a 90 overall wide receiver, basically to Antonio Brown.
Playmakers all across stacks. Receiving core coming up big for him. 4th and 1. The
stones
confidence
on
to pass. And it pays off. 1st and 10 here. Minute 25 left in the game. Stack going to make his final adjustments as the play clock ticks down. Snaps the ball. Looks across the middle. Has Y right open. Croft takes a big hit. But no hit power from the CB.
Croft's been another one of those guys that we keep seeing make big plays here for Stack over these past couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, tight ends always great in draft champs. The issue I think is, if you had somebody else aside from Croft, you'd be picking up a lot more. But Croft doing some serious damage on his own accord. So Jerry Rice, this is usually where he'll motion him out to the right. Sometimes it's a man beater. Sometimes it's a deep route. We'll have to see what Stack looks to go with here. He picks up the pressure.
Great route combos.
And hits Sims. And Sims is going to just carry it out of bounds rather than go for the double juke. Garoppolo 10 of 13 right now for 134.
Yeah, and I really like how Stack is working and moving the ball from the gun bunch week here. He's doing a great job of mixing up his plays, and it's keeping Evil Ken off balance. He's done a great job going between Casey Divide, PA Post, and right there on the last play, gun verticals.
Yeah, he's got Sam Shields for Evil Ken along with Walter Thurmond in his CB. So the matchup advantage is to Stack, and he hands off
Nice
to Sims.
stick work right there by Stack. He wanted to cut that run outside to the outside edge. Halfback base has a pulling guard. You want to kick behind that guard and kick out right to the right for a big play, but he couldn't. The defender had sealed the edge. He cut the run back inside for a 4-yard gain.
All right, here it is for verticals. Good user by Ken. Just amazing user, guys. Please go back and watch that.
Wow.
That was 4 verticals.
Defended both.
Defended the tight end. That's the number one route that people message me and say, how do I stop that tight end route on 4 verticals? The one where he runs about 10 yards, cuts across the middle. Ken took that away. Stack went to the deep seam, which he had hit a touchdown on last game to Doug Baldwin. Got back far enough with a linebacker, jumped up, and scored an interception.
It's almost as if he knew that he wasn't going to throw to that tight end route. It's almost like he saw the scout on that. That was a big play in the last game against Havok for Stack. He had a huge touchdown in the seam there with the drag underneath route combination that Havok jumped the drag and threw the seam. Right there, you saw Ken jump the post, drop to the seam for the pick.
Yeah, and so what happens there is if you're Stack, you're watching Ken's user.
Uh-oh, sailed it. John Elway.
Happens. That's almost a good sale. You're watching Ken's user and you see, okay, my tight end's about to cut and there's a user there. Mm-hmm. That means I can't throw it.
Right.
And then so you look away. You look away from the user. The user
Jimmy
then
Garoppolo.
Drifts, and then you can't go.
But that's Jimmy Garoppolo. He doesn't have the mustard to get it there.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a quarterback rating issue than anything else.
All right, so this time he motions Spiller out to the left. Amukamara should still be decent against it, but
good pressure.
His deep gets rezoned underneath, and it's a first down, 3rd and 10.
Better routes.
We've seen that great combos from Ken there.
That was good dialed up pressure. He sent the house, but Ken composed in the pocket. He hung in there. If he waited like a half a tick later, that would have been a safety.
Yeah.
Good composure in the pocket there from Evil Ken.
A big 3rd down conversion. He's in single back right here. Calls a quick audible, and Elway's going to hand off to Spiller. Goes right up the middle and stumbles, thankfully, but not before getting 4 yards.
You seen Evil Ken slow this game down?
Yeah.
You got a 7-point lead. All I need to do, if you're Ken, he's thinking here is, I need to waste about 2 minutes, 3 minutes off this clock here. 2 minutes. Kick a field goal, and I'm booking my ticket. That's what he's thinking here.
He scored before the half. He answered with a touchdown already. And he's doing the things that increase your win percentage heavily in these situations. Here, he has...
Right there, good D
stack. Probably shaded that underneath. Antonio Cromartie right there. Could have used a pick 6. Didn't get it, but did get the tackle after a 1-yard gain. So that's very nice. If you're Stack, it makes it a 3rd and 5, which Ken has been picking up these 3rd down conversions all game long. Ken Stack come through and finally get a big conversion.
3rd and 5.
Stop here.
Here we go. Motion halfback out of the backfield. We've seen this many times before in this game.
Oh, he threw directly
Stack.
at the user, and Ruben Randall, I think, comes up with a monster catch. Shout out to Ancient Lemon for the follow on the channel.
Stack was there, just not quite where he needed to be on that play.
So that makes for a serious case of the tick-tock now comes into play with 3 minutes left in the game. Ken's still not at midfield, and it's only a one-score game, but he's going to go into this I form. At halfback, looks like Benny Cunningham is going to come in and take C.J. Spiller out of that role as he goes with PA, checks down to the flat. DJ Swearinger, big hit on the fullback. Swearinger known to lay some lumber, but can't force anything.
All right, Farles, 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go. He's got 2 timeouts. Talk to the guys in the chat. How do you use your timeouts in this situation?
You don't take them yet. You take them after this next set of first downs. If you're Ken, you're going to run the ball here, or at least call a play where you know you can keep the clock moving.
After 30 seconds.
After the 30-second mark, because then you're guaranteed to get it to the 2-minute warning. If you're Stack, you're starting to hurt for time. Let's see if he can get it. And Cunningham,
that's the worst situation. That's the worst.
Yeah, because that makes it a whole other amount of seconds. If Ken gets a first down here, Stack suddenly really only has a chance to get the ball back with very, very limited time left, and we'll have to move it quick.
Right here, this is where that timeout early in the game comes back to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Ken chews the clock. It's a 2-minute warning. He has 2 timeouts. It's 3rd and 2. You need a stop here if you're Stack. You're willing to go all out to get it, I think. You have to kind of to sacrifice here.
There's a lot to worry about from this set.
Yeah, Ken started with gun ace.
Good
and
lock
Stack locks it up. He takes his time out.
Do you punt here?
If you're Ken,
you can win the game.
Yeah, you do, because you can win the game. We saw Problem go and win the game. Ken's known as an offensive player, although his defense has been lights out today. He goes and tries to win this game right here.
4th and 2. You play all year long for this moment. There's nothing else to say other than let's just watch it.
To get the ball back, we've seen this motion. 4th and 2. John Elway.
What a lurk by MStach! What a lurk by MStach! Did he lurk it? Did he lurk it? He put his thing down, flipped it, and reversed it.
I don't know how I feel about emptying the backfield.
Did it for the boys.
That plays work for Ken. He's tremendous. But emptying the backfield eliminates all threat of the run. And Stack could then focus on the pass, did a great job usering, and made the play. He now needs a drive, though, to score a touchdown. There's 1:53 left in the game. Plenty of time. Just needs a drive. Ken,
he had his open guy.
Yeah, Ken used the drag, which came short. It opened up the corner deep, the C route, but the pressure got there before he could throw the ball. That would have been a big game for Stack, guys. That is why we teach you to send pressure. It's so important. First read gets taken away by the user. Second read gets taken away by the blitz.
Great point right there. We can talk about that later.
Great.
Second read takes away the blitz. Absolutely.
2nd and 10. Stack's had success running the ball. He chooses to pass here. Pressure comes in, and Sims drops the ball. Silver level talent drops the rock. Would have had a block. Great
adjustment there by Ken. He took away the quick post over the middle of the field with his user, and he also had his linebacker on the left edge in a buzz to take away the quick out. So great adjustments there by Evil Ken.
3rd and 10.
Playing great defense right now is Evil Ken.
1:46 left. If you're Stack, this is 4-down territory, so you can really do anything here to make next down more manageable. But if you're Stack, you're looking for a play. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wow!
Makes the completion to Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice dropped a ball earlier in the game, but right now says, nope, Tyrone Matthew, this is my time to shine. You're a playmaker. I'm a legend.
He goes to his playmaker there on that play. Like, there's nothing about that. That's one-on-one. That's one-on-one mano-a-mano right there. That's a stone's throw right there by MStach.
Rolling stones, rolling offense. 1:20 left. MStach in the Packers uniforms, down 7. picks up
Good
the
defense.
pressure, gets an open receiver in Baldwin who makes the catch and takes it down to the 14-yard line.
Good defense there by Ken. He protected both the flats and the sidelines. He gave up a little bit of a quick read over the middle of the field, but he protected the area of the field where it could hurt him the most there, which was the far right corner of the field. So great defense there.
Clock is stopped. Ken on the D lineman runs back. Doug Baldwin.
Did he panic a little bit there, you think? Was that a panic throw? I feel like he could have hung on the rock there a little bit, but...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. We'll see here what he does on 3rd and 3.
This is the hardest part of the field to score. We talk about no run support on either side of the field, but you feel like you can't run the ball here in this situation with a minute to go.
Are you holding him up, Gibbs? Are you holding him up?
I don't know. I don't do that, but that's why I'm not playing right now, Farles.
3rd and 3. Croft gets motioned. Haven't seen pressure off the left edge. Doug Baldwin holds A for the conservative catch in the back of the end zone. An absolute game changer in Madden 16. Ken, you've got a minute. He took a timeout earlier to stop it. If you're stacked, you needed to score, so you had to score.
Let's talk about that. If he goes for aggressive there, if he goes for a rack there, you consider going for aggressive there because you think you need the animation there to get that because you could overthrow it. But he goes with the possession. How many times have you decided or gone between that battle of what you really need to, what type of catch you need to go for?
It happens fast on a bullet throw like that,
right
in the seam. Very, very tough. That's not an area you see a lot of people throw.
Call that a dot eponymous Rex, that one.
Stacks at that a couple times. 1st and 10, Ken.
Ken's got a lot of time right now.
With his bread drive. 57 seconds, just needs a field goal. Stack only 1 timeout, so uses the motion out to CJ Spiller. Does Stack have this formation memorized?
Oh.
And a gain to Philly Brown right there. John Elway, 13 for 15, 263 yards.
John Elway right now in this game, one incompletion. He sailed over the head to halfback in the right flat and then the pick. So right now Elway playing at a very high level for Evil Ken.
Let's go. Serious Mo in the chat. Mo, I got that paddle for you. Getting it out in the mail. Very important. 1st and 10 for Ken. Hits that tight end corner. No. He breaks a tackle, and Ken is going to get down, hold down RB.
That'll do it.
That will seal the victory. The reason Evil Ken not choosing to score is because he can just simply kick the game-winning field goal from this area. That pass puts John Elway over 300 yards.
Yeah.
Stack fought valiantly right there, but that adjustment was just too much.
Yeah, we see in the chat wise opinion here from SETI20 who says zone here is scary in my opinion, and that's the exact reason. Oh, actually, Evil Ken, don't do this to yourself, Ken. You got your ticket booked. Don't go for a fumble here, man. Don't call timeout if you're Stack.
I call it if I'm Stack with 8 seconds, just to give myself a chance, because I don't want him to kick it with nothing on the clock.
No, but the fumble there, you got to think. But the reason you don't potentially go zone there is the exact spot here. You had one deep zone in that part of the field, and then all that receiver needed to do was shake that one deep zone defender, and the game's over. Evil Ken advances. MStach, valiant effort. Went down to one of the legends of the game.
Absolutely.
Good game, guys.
Great game in the Madden Challenge, guys.
Shout out to Stack, man. Good game, Stack. Good game, Evil Ken.
Yeah, that offensive scheme right there from Ken was difficult. I wonder if that's a playbook that he uses regularly. Do you know what he was in at all?
I'm not sure the playbook. I know that he obviously had gun trips tight end. That's his bread and butter. That's been his bread and butter for as long as I've known him in the Madden tournament community. He looked comfortable in it. He used a lot of play-action plays. That's the story of the game, right? Stack has shown he had great defense all tournament long. He was able to generate pressure, left side of the field, right side of the field. But Ken showed he was composed. He had his play-action plays in place. He made the adjustments where he needed to make them. And he made one more play than Stack made in that game, and that's why he's moving on.
Yeah, that pick from Ken, it ended up not hurting him because Stack ended up getting a pick of his own, but definitely put more stress on the game than there needed. It definitely ended up, if Ken gets that 4th and 2, then it would end up being a game. But Stack drove down, found that seam throw to tie the game.
Yeah.
Chose not to go for 2, which wouldn't end up mattering there. but just a tremendous game. I mean, John Elway, 87% completion percentage.
Yeah, I mean, I see a reoccurring theme right now in this Madden Challenge, this Draft Champions Ranked Madden Challenge. We've seen a lot of people say that corners don't matter. And it's not to say that Stack or Evil Ken or whoever didn't have corners, but so far what I'm seeing is it seems like the corner play is really letting people down. And where I saw the corner play let Stack down in this game, and to be quite frankly, in the past game, is the tackling. A lot of open field tackles that they missed. And does that come down to things like play recognition? Does that come down to things awareness? Does that pursuit? Right. So these are the things you got to start thinking about. Like, think of how many big plays we saw in both games. Like the last play of this game came down to a double juking out the corner in a deep zone. And now you got to think if maybe you had a better corner.
If from what you guys have seen, I know you guys have been watching a lot of the Madden Challenge. If you would give us a 1 in the chat if you think corners matter and you've seen in the games you've watched them come up big, or if they don't matter and you wouldn't really draft them as much, give me a 2. I know some guys. I know SDW lost on some aggressive catches, so he might think 2 corners don't matter, but some guys have been using corners and having luck. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. What you guys think? What theory you subscribe to?
So without a doubt, though, you tip your ball cap to MStach. You tell MStach this is not the end. This is only the beginning. You got a long road ahead of you when it comes to competitive Madden. This tournament is not yet over, so now we got to think. Evil Ken will match up against 2 Tenacious in the next game, the next round.
Who RG was a big.
So that becomes a super compelling matchup. We already know that we got tickets booked for Problem.
Was the guy's name Theodore? The guy's name was Theodore.
The Oder. No, it was the Oder. That played the Tenacious, right? The Oder.
Yeah.
So we got some big time matchups coming up. It's going to be interesting. I mean, we're just 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from the live final. It's Saturday, so the finals had already been booked at this point because we'll be playing on that Friday, the 22nd.
So, Evil Ken will be playing against Relax in